What's going on, Angelo family? In today's video, we're going to talk about my 50,000 mile review of my Tesla Model S long range. Yeah, it's been 50,000 miles now, which is freaking crazy. I got this car used, and I think when I got it was about like 10,000 miles or so. So now we're jumping up to 50,000. And this is all in the span of a year, which is insane. I've been driving this car a ton, especially all around California. So I feel like I've got a good handle on this whole car thing and how long I've been driving it, and just kind of like my experience driving the Tesla Model S long range. So I want to give you guys my honest thoughts and my review of it, how it's performed, the maintenance on it, and what I've kind of like done with the car. So overall, the maintenance, you need to realize as Tesla, you get 4 years standard like basic warranty, where they take care of everything for you within these 4 years of owning the car. And then you also get a 50,000 mile warranty. So whatever comes first, 4 years or 50,000 miles. Obviously, it's been what, the car was created in 2022, so it's 2024 and I already drove 50,000 miles within 3 years. So as you can tell, I drive a ton. So for me, I've been driving the car a lot and it's been a lot of fun, but it's time for me to kind of start paying out of warranty, which is kind of unfortunate, right? So during the whole kind of process of the car, I've had a couple things break under warranty. First was the door handles. The Tesla door handles for the Model S, they go in and out, in and out, in and out. That's how you open doors. Not so much the Model 3 where you kind of have to push the door handle, you pull out, and that's how you open the door handle. But for a Model S, you have to, there is a motor that opens the door handles, opens in and out, and that broke probably twice already within the car. So I had to have that motor replaced within the door handle. That was a free fix because it was under warranty, which is nice. Also, I've had several other things to break with the car. So the center console within the car wouldn't open and close anymore, and that broke as well. They had to replace that center console. The seat over here, it wouldn't go backward and forward anymore, so we had to get that replaced. Not so much the seat, but the motor within the seat that had to get replaced within the Tesla Model S. A lot of rattling sounds here on the left and right pillar of the Model S, so we had to get that checked out. Kind of like they just put some tape on the rattling sounds of it. That was one thing. One of the most expensive ones, thank God it was under warranty, but it had to get replaced, was that the air suspension had popped within the car. So because the air suspension had popped within the car, I am not too sure if that's just from aggressive driving or whatnot. We had to get that replaced, and that was all free. But what happens was when the air suspension pops, you kind of just end up constantly hearing the car just trying to adjust the suspension, and it just fills with air, then like releases air, fills with air, then releases air, and then you're just kind of out of luck with regards to that air suspension, and then you had to actually get that whole thing fixed and replaced. That took about 2 days or so for them to fix that, which was unfortunate within the car. So we had to get that air suspension replaced. There's a couple of, like, it's actually a lot of things if you think of it. Thank God it was all under warranty, right? The autopilot camera fell off on the left pillar. That one, they did not replace it for me because I had a wrap on the car, so that may have like kind of affected it. So that was $100 to get replaced within the autopilot camera falling off within the car. And then the main cabin camera broke. So if you guys are curious, I have a main cabin camera within the Tesla. It just kind of like monitors inside the camera to make sure you're looking at the road. That thing broke, so when that broke, my navigation kept rerouting within the car. So I'm assuming that the cabin camera that faces, maybe it's not the one that faces inward, but more so faces outward on the road, so it'll constantly reboot, and then I wouldn't be able to use full self-driving or even the navigation system on the car. Those were the things that broke. And the most kind of unfortunate thing that broke was the left tire on the back side. So apparently the tire cracked inward, and I had to get that replaced as I was driving on a road trip, which is really unfortunate. And the guy who had told me, who came in and fixed the car, had a tire pop, was because apparently the battery is so heavy on the left side that a lot of Teslas tend to have that inner kind of part of the tire pop and break, and that's been happening a lot with a lot of the Teslas that they end up helping do roadside repairs. So that's one of the things that did break within the Tesla as well. So a lot of issues with the car. I think overall, probably I spent, that was like a $400 repair. And then the cabin camera was about $700, so $1,100 there, another $100 for the replacement for the autopilot camera, so about $1,200. And then I actually had to have all the rims replaced because the car is like a low profile car, and because it's a low profile car, the rims tend to get bent out of shape. So we had all the rims and tires replaced. That was about $1,200 per. So probably around, like, I think in total maintenance that wasn't covered under warranty, about $2,500 to replace and fix the car. So kind of like things with a lot of the tires and then just like lowered the car. Keep in mind, I did get like the first ever kind of refresh of the Model S. So they kind of did a lot of new things to the car and it broke down. I'm assuming that the newer ones, 2024, 2025 Model S's probably don't have as many issues, which is kind of good, right? Also, most Model 3s, like probably that new kind of refresh Highland, because they've been building the Model 3 for so long, probably don't have so much issues as well. But those are kind of the experiences I've had with the Model S. So you will kind of experience a lot of the issues, for me at least. Hopefully you don't have that many issues. But thankfully most of them were covered in warranty, and the ones that I did have to pay out of pocket were basically because of like the tires and the wheels, right? Tires and wheels aren't usually covered under warranty, which is unfortunate, right? But I got new rims. That's one thing. I was on the 21-inch Arachnid rims and wheels, and I switched over to 19-inch just generic wheels and rims from like Discount Tire, America's Tire, and I get more range, as well as the drive is a lot smoother. So don't feel like you have to go with the bigger rims just to look nicer. Like, you can actually go with the smaller ones, get more efficient driving and mileage and range from it, as well as a much smoother ride if you kind of go with these more smaller rims and wheels, to make it sure that the car is not as like bumpy and crazy, and you want to go on road trips. That's the one thing I've kind of noticed, right? I had the Arachnid wheels, 22 inches, 21 inches, and my full 100% state of charge on the car was about 340, 350. Switched to 19-inch wheels and rims. Now my full state of charge is around 370, almost 380 sometimes. So that's the whole kind of big, like 10% more efficiency within the car. Also, it's a much smoother drive, and I probably won't ever go back to the 22, 21-inch rims. Fun fact, you can probably buy 19-inch lookalike Arachnid wheels from like Discount Tire or America's Tires if you want a much smoother ride for the car, and that's what I'll probably do right now. Right now I got like these wheels and rims that look like the track package for the Model S Plaid, and they look cool, but I do want to switch back to the lookalike for the Arachnid wheels and rims. That's one thing for me, so keep that in mind. I do enjoy the car itself being very sleek looking, and I do enjoy the room. That's the one reason I switched over from a 3 and a Y over to an S, because one, I wanted a lot more range, which I did get with this car. Also, I wanted more trunk space, and because the Model S is a lot bigger, you get a lot more trunk space. It's not as high as the Y. Also, you get more front space. So that's the cool thing about the car. It's a lot bigger, and your friends and family have a little bit more room there. If you guys have ever ridden in back of a Model 3, it's kind of very tight. It's really meant for like 2 people, honestly, front and back, and then maybe small kids in the back seat for the car for the Model 3. Model Y, you get more space, which is nice, but I think if you want a lot of range, you want the premium version of the car, go with the Model S. A lot of them are a lot cheaper now, looking at around like 40, 50,000 compared to that purchase price. I think back then people were buying it for 120, which is insane. Right now you get a good deal on it used, right? Teslas are so fascinating in the sense where I've had 3, and most of them they will crash in value. A lot of them will crash, like the Cybertruck will probably crash in value as well. So it's always kind of good to buy the car used. For me, buying used, you save a ton, right? And it's just a lot better, to be quite frank with you. You're gonna like realize that even though you do get the $7,500 EV rebate, that's still kind of present for 3s and Ys. That'll just really cover your tax as well as like your destination fees. So that's kind of unfortunate. But if you buy one used, I think I bought my Model 3 Performance for $56,490, about $62,000 after tax. It's been 3 years now. I look at that car on say like Carfax. I see it going for around 23,000, 20,000. So they do drop a ton in value because Tesla is a very, I guess, it mass produces these vehicles. So you might as well go with a used one that you save $30,000-$40,000 and you get the car. It still works great, maybe out of warranty, but that battery still performs. I used to get all the technology and the software updates of the car. So that's the one thing about buying a used Tesla, right? So kind of keep that in mind. So if you want to buy a similar Model S to me, go with the used one. Don't buy brand new, save a lot more money, and you do kind of get to enjoy the whole car, right? Like it still performs relatively similar to of like when I first purchased it, right? It still has very great speed, battery life. It has degraded about 10%, but you don't really notice it because of how big the battery is. Also, suspension feels nice. I think the Model 3 Performance and Highland have a better one, in my personal opinion. But overall, car still performs great, and you'll probably get the newer hardware. I'm still on hardware, I think 3.5, so it doesn't perform well as hardware 4. And I've gotten all the self-driving updates. So that's one thing about this Model S is that I've gotten full self-driving, just the trial period, as well as kind of like some limited monthly subscriptions if I'm going on long road trips, and it's performed really well for me. So that's one thing you need to know is like, if you do get the Model S, it does still have the capability of doing full self-driving. There are older Model 3s that don't let you do full self-driving because it's still on the younger or older hardware. So kind of keep that in mind when you do switch over to an S, right? So that's a cool thing too. Another thing I did with the Model S was that I wrapped the car in this ultra red looking color. I wanted to kind of look like the ultra red. Originally the car was full black. And I wrapped in this ultra red color, and I get a lot of compliments on the wrap. Everyone's like, "Whoa, what color is that? Is this a wrap?" I'm like, yeah, it looks like ultra red, but it's not. It's a wrap. It's really cool. So that's one thing I get about wrapping the car. If you do buy a Model S brand new and you want to wrap it, just get the basic color. The thing is gray is free, and then just wrap it, right? Or if you do buy one used, wrap it a different color. If you don't like the color, you do get it, right? So I'm pretty happy with the wrap so far. But the wrap, it's kind of peeling off, which is unfortunate, right? That's the one thing about wraps, that you will get a lot of peeling with the wrap, especially if you have the car stored outside. I store the car outside, so the wrap tends to peel a lot. Also, the car it still looks good from far away, but if you look at close up, there are some peeling within the wrap. And the one thing about this car is that I keep it outside. Also, I take it through car washes, so that's probably affecting the status of the wrap, like just starting to peel a little bit. And that the black trim all over the car is starting to see some oxidation. Because there's oxidation around the black trim of the car, it doesn't look as nice. Because most gas stations, if you take it to a car wash within the gas station, they use a certain chemical that oxidizes the black kind of chrome, or the black chrome around the car, and you do see oxidation within the car, so it kind of damages the car itself, and that's kind of like on me for taking it there. It's because I don't like manually washing it. But overall, like, the car itself, right, it's just been nice. So I drive a ton from Northern California to Southern California, all up and down the coast. And if I want to go from San Francisco to Los Angeles, it only takes one charge. Like if I leave at 100%, I'll charge midway, say like around like Kelvin City or Firebow, like one of those middle cities where Tesla has a supercharger. I'll charge it for about another 50 minutes, take a rest break. I'll end up in Los Angeles with about 20% state of charge. And it's like, wow, I got to Los Angeles with just one charge, which is pretty crazy. Because I've had the Model Y Performance, it took me 3 charges, because my battery is about it got at 303, but it degraded all the way down to like 260, 250. And it was just like, oh man, it's not that much range, which is kind of unfortunate. And the Model Y, for me, it just didn't kind of suffice. Same thing with the Model 3. It took me about 2 or 3 charges to get from Northern California to Southern California. But with the Model S long range, if you do a lot of driving or road trips, this is like the perfect car for you because of how sleek and nice it looks. Also, that big of a range, right? If you do end up going with the Model 3 long range rear-wheel drive, you will get like, I think, almost as much, right? I think we were doing tests, like, even though it says 365 on the long range rear-wheel drive, that's an estimate, people get around 370. So you're getting, it's probably Tesla's most efficient vehicle so far, which is really cool. I might even lease one, to be quite frank with you, because I like the way it looks, I like the way it drives. It's a great daily driver. It's a good road tripping car, to be quite frank with you. So that's the cool thing about the Model 3. The thing with the Model 3 is that you got to realize that people are always like, everyone gets that car because it's like the most affordable one. Also, it's always getting the most updates because it's like Tesla's like bread and butter car, where it's like available to the masses. So that's the cool thing about the Model 3 rear-wheel drive long range, is that it's available to the masses. People buy it a ton, and it's fun to drive for those of you who are curious about the car. So with regards to this whole car and everything, would I do it again? Would I go with the Model S long range? 100% yes. If you buy the car, Model S long range, 50,000 miles, 550 on this, buy it used, right? If you can find one under warranty and 50,000 miles, you probably go with that deal. Don't go over warranty, because then you start paying everything out of pocket, and stuff will break on the car. It's a Tesla, let's be quite frank with you. And you do have to go to a dealership. That's the only place that knows how to fix it. So go to a dealership, get it fixed. If you get one under 50,000 miles, like say 20K, you'll be good to go. And look for a deal online, right? A lot of websites like Carfax, Carvana, they'll have a good deal for it. Go with the Model S if you want a more premium car, save a little bit more money to spend. Also go with it if you drive a ton, right? If you drive a ton, don't want to charge as much, go with the Model S long range. 405 miles of range, brand new. So if you get it used, you'll probably get to around 380 or so. And I personally like the smaller wheels and rims because of it has much more range, much more efficiency. It's a lot smoother. The Arachne wheels were very, very bumpy on the drive, and it kind of made it a hassle to drive the car. But when I switched over to the Model S 19-inch wheels, very smooth, a lot more range. And I don't go with the expensive tires, right? Usually I still recommend you go with Michelin Pilot Sports, and they're very expensive, like $500 a wheel. A tire. I go with some Falcon tires. I think I paid $100. I'm pretty happy with it, how they're performing. Honestly, no one notices that, oh, this isn't Michelin Pilot Sport, unless you're like going on the track a ton with this car, you're racing it. If you're driving the Plaid and you're accelerating it like crazy, those tires will wear out a lot faster. For me, this is 100% just a daily driver car for me, where like, okay, I want to drive this car to and from work. I want to use this car for videos. This is like legitimate a daily driver car for me, and I want a car with just a ton of range, because I like to drive long distances. I like to use full self-driving. I don't like to stop as much. This is the car for you. Tesla Model S long range. Go with the refresh version, right? Don't go with the older ones, the 2021s. Go with like 2022 and onward, because you get the updated interior, you get the updated hardware, you get more range, and it's just a more enjoyable experience for a couple $1,000 more. And if you want to save money, go with the really older one, right? Go with the ones with the new hardware, but don't get the one with the bubble. I don't like the one with the bubble front, because honestly, it doesn't look as good, and as well as you do have the older hardware. So take a look at those Model S's long range. 50,000 miles. I have about $2,500 spent in maintenance that was not covered. That's just through wheels and tires, and then some issues with cabin cameras, as well as the autopilot cameras that broke off or just stopped working because it was out of warranty. And then also, the car has been just a great car for full self-driving, as well as long trips. If you have a family and you want more room, this is also a good car. Like, I know the Model Y and the Model X are good cars because they're kind of big. This is a good car. Say you only have one kid, two kids, who needs to sit in the back. It's pretty spacious back there, as well as a trunk and the front have a lot more room compared to Model 3. Model 3 is a great daily driver, but that car is, if you want to get that, you can go for 20 grand. I've been seeing like, used Teslas, like there's a ton. So always go with the used Tesla. Even though you do get the $7,500 rebate, you do save money, but there is rebates that come with the Model 3 and Y. But if you want a great car for long distances, huge batteries, great interior, Tesla's premium car, go with the Model S used. Model X used is pretty nice too. I think I've seen some for 50 grand, which is a great deal. So keep that in mind whenever you're looking at cars. All right, Angelo family, appreciate you. Have an amazing day. This is my 50,000 mile review of my Tesla Model S long range refresh. Hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon. Peace. Also, if you do choose to buy a brand new Tesla and you're like, you know what, I don't want to go with the used one, I want to go with a brand new one, look at my link down below. It gives you $1,000 off a Model S and X purchase for a brand new one, also $1,000 off a Cybertruck, or $300 or $500 off your Model 3 and Model Y. I do get $500 referral credit. I only have 10 or so I can get, so let me know if you guys want. That link is down below. I have links to all my my accessories I use for this YouTube channel, as well as for my Teslas. Those are all down below. I do get a small commission for that. I just give you heads up there, 100% kind of transparency with you. And then if you guys are curious and want to learn how to build a YouTube channel, I built this channel just through making videos about Teslas and YouTube Shorts. So we're about like, I think 13,000 right now since the filming of this video. I have a link below. It's just like my course where I just teach you guys how I build YouTube videos and how I make my content about cars. It's a lot of fun. Like, it's just a good time, and I make this to help you all out to kind of build whatever you want to build. So take a look at that link below. Appreciate you, Angelo fam. Have an amazing day. Peace.